Real. Okay, hi Jason, thank you for joining me today to talk, well, in celebration of your fantastic end of year design exhibition, which I've seen on the link bridge and it looks amazing, and also in recognition of Gypsy Traveller and Roma History Month, which takes place every year in June. So let's get going, and please tell me a bit about you.
Thank you. Yes, I think it's really, really good that first off, thank you so much for like the giving someone like me the platform to do something like this. It means so much. Like if I came into uni this year and saw that stand, it would have been it would mean so much. It's so great. I myself grew up in a very traditional way. It took me a long time to get to university in the first place, but I regret nothing about it. I absolutely love my uni experience. It's been so great, honestly. It's great.
Oh, brilliant. I'm so pleased to hear it. And you don't need to thank us. We're so grateful to you that you brought your talents to BNU, because we're just so proud of you. So your end of year show, as I've already mentioned, please tell me about your final collection. What was your inspiration? Where did it come from?
So the collection really came from my traditional upbringing, but I wanted to focus on a specific part. I wanted to focus on representation, but also we've started having the fairs come back after COVID happened. We started having our horse fairs come back, which are Appleby, Stowe, Kenilworth. I think we don't do it anymore, but the Star Pain's coming up in August. And I wanted to focus on them and the impact that COVID's really had on, like, my brothers were having fatigue last year from not going to any of them, and it was a massive thing. So my collection's really inspired by that. It's inspired by like stuff like unity and freedom and all that kind of stuff and acceptance, but also it's focused on the representation we get from the fairs. There was recently, very, very recently, there was a newspaper that talked about how much waste was left at the fairs and the trouble and that kind of stuff. But there are people from the culture, Sherry Smith, who I've met at the university, who have volunteered to stay behind and actually like check and make sure she moves everything. Like there's so much more positive stuff, but the media representation is always going to be harsh.
Yeah, so definitely. So obviously part of it is about showing your creativity and the sort of,
Hmm.
the visual traditions of your culture as
Mm.
well. But also it sounds as if you're actually trying to sort of break some of those stigmas associated with it when it comes to
Yeah,
like renewable and sustainable sort of materials, things like that.
yeah. I have had a lot of people meeting me and then finding out about my collection, being like, "Oh, you're a gypsy," and then it's kind of like it just breaks down a stereotype that this person had through constantly watching things on TV like Peaky Blinders and stuff. And I'm like, yeah, you have to actually meet some of us to understand, you know. Yeah.
Yeah, 100%. No, that's amazing. Thank you. Um, so I'd like to know as well, I've already said we're so pleased that you're here with us, but what made you pick BNU to study fashion design?
So I left school at the age of like 12, and then I went to this little college thing where I got like basic maths and English when I was like 16, 17. How I found the course, I have to really say thank you to Jane Bowler and David Hopper, I think his name was Hop. He uh I found this place through Instagram. You're always like searching, your phone's listening to you and all this kind of stuff. And I found it on Instagram and I ended up messaging the account Bucks Fashion, and I saw a post that I didn't know. One of my best friends, Catherine Messeder, shout out to Catherine Messeder. She was on the Bucks. She was on the little like promotion screen, and I reached out and I asked, and Jane set up like an open day, and like things fell through that way. I don't think I joined the course in a very traditional like coming for an interview, very strict, and it was very open, very like accepting, and Jane just wanted me on the course, and I loved it so much because I
Yeah.
didn't know what to expect. And a year later, I was the promotion thing on the Instagram, and I was like, wow, this is like
Full
around
circle.
experience.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's amazing. So I guess before you knew about us, you knew that you wanted to study fashion design. You knew that that was the route you wanted to go down into, was it? Or is that a new thing?
Oh, it was something that randomly happened. We moved, so me and my family moved from one place to another here about like I came to Princess Risborough about 5 years ago now, and I was just randomly, and I worked in the local town, and I just randomly found it on Instagram, and I was like, oh, but High Wycombe's just there. Like, why shouldn't I do this?
Yeah.
It's like everything just fell into place. Some
Oh,
things are meant to be.
100% meant to be. We're so pleased you're here. But yeah, so how has BNU helped you complete your studies?
Definitely, the staff I think are amazing. The tech team are phenomenal. You've got Sasha, you've got Rupert, you've got Joseph, um, who are all the techs, and they're all just like so willing to help you.
They're
You
unsung
have a
heroes, aren't
vision,
they? Yeah,
yeah.
the team unsung heroes, definitely.
It's definitely they need more shout outs because when you want something done, 9 times out of 10 that thing is unachievable, but they will try their hardest to help you achieve it. Especially like Sasha is in the room with us 24/7. If we need her, she's there, and also on call as well. And I'm like, girl, you're not being paid. But at the same time, she's so willing to do it. And then you've got Bridget. Holly was an ex-tutor of mine. So is Tony Green. Great people. Honestly, the staff are so well versed in their industry.
Yeah.
That's what I really like is that the especially Bridget, you're speaking to an industry person that their opinion isn't personal opinion, it's a real industry standard opinion.
Yeah,
That's
no,
what I
that's
like.
really great to hear. I'm so pleased that you've had a great experience with your lecturers and all of the other staff that you've sort of come into contact with in your time with us. It's really
Hmm.
good to know. So I would like to know what have been, oh, you're coming to the end of your time at BNU now, very sad for us.
Oh
But
god.
what have been your best bits in your time at BNU?
I love you can say stuff like I love getting like a brief and just having like the wild inspiration to create a collection or a piece or something for that brief. But also there's like going out with friends, making the friends I've met at uni are like so varied. Like I know this comes with a lot of other courses as well, but um doing fashion, doing a creative course, you meet so many people from so many different walks of life and it's really immersive. And some of the some of the things we do are a one-on-one, so it's just like us doing our own project, and then you get to do a little group project where everybody's like having a mini little fight or something, and you're like, but if we were in the industry we'd have to work this out because our jobs are on the line. I really like the immersive, like loads of different people from different story like walks of life.
That's amazing. And it sounds as though the way that your course is set up as well, it's really preparing you for the working world. Do you think
Hmm.
it's setting you up for what life will be like beyond university, do you think? Yeah.
Exactly, because none of us, a lot of us, have never. Well, I never had any fashion experience before coming to uni. I used to just doodle on an iPad, and then I came to uni, and it really teaches you to focus on what you want and what you're good at, so that when you go into the industry, you can use that skill. There are people. There are people that study fashion that don't know how to use a sewing machine, and that blows my mind.
Yeah.
But even though we're not, um, as a designer, you don't really need to necessarily know that. But I think garment construction and knowing how a garment is made is so key and so important.
Yeah. Sort of knowing the process from all the way from the beginning to the end.
Exactly.
Yeah. Amazing. Yeah. So obviously I mentioned at the very beginning of our conversation that it is GTR History Month this month. And I'd like to know what it means to you that this is recognised in our community.
Just a representation. It means so much. It means so much to get a person from the culture to be the face of something or to have input on something. A lot of TV programs, a lot of shows out there are about the culture, but they don't really involve the culture apart from putting them in front of the camera. Like the creative process, editing, and everything. I feel like it needs to have involvement. And I feel like I've been involved so much with BNU, with the expedition coming up, with doing stuff like this, it means a lot. Representation is key, but also correct representation is so important.
Yeah, definitely. And we're really grateful for you and our other students as well who are partaking in this kind of work as well, because obviously as much as we can do as well, we're learning from you. We're, you guys are the experts on it, and you guys are the ones who are carving the path so that we can open the doors to more people. So again, so grateful for you. This is just a love fest for you, Jason. Apparently I'm just saying thank you with every question. But yeah,
That's
I'm
fine.
getting towards the end of my list of questions here. One of them, sort of a statement and a question, but obviously last year we very, very proudly celebrated your selection by the British Fashion Council for their undergraduate scholarship, which obviously is absolutely amazing. But what actually we think made it even more amazing was that you were the first person to be selected from a GTRSB background. So you're a year into that relationship now, and we're wondering, how has it been? What have you been up to, and what opportunities have arisen from it?
So it's definitely, I'm a person that if any information is told to me, I will instantly be like, do this, do that, to other students. I got to go to the Dior fashion show, the British Fashion Awards, and all this kind of stuff. Like all these opportunities pop up. But also I did a short film for the British Fashion Council for my collection, and it's on London Fashion Week. I've been getting a few emails backwards and forwards, but also I've also met other creative gypsy people from my culture, which I've never met before.
Yeah.
And I find that it's also inspiring, but also it's also like, it's just great to connect with people. I love connecting with people. I love talking,
Yeah, that's brilliant. Well, that's great. That'll get you everywhere. But no, it's really great to hear it. And it sounds so exciting as well. I remember hearing that you'd been selected for it, and I was like, the British Fashion Council, wow, that's huge. That's
I
amazing.
know.
If I was excited to hear that for you, I can't even imagine how you felt when you got that news, but just
I
absolutely
can tell you,
amazing.
I can tell you a little secret. When I was, we were actually traveling around. It was during the summer when I got the information. I can talk about it now because the signature's expired. I was traveling around Land's End with family, and I got an email. The internet connection out there is so bad, and we were on our way back, and I got an email from like 2 days before. From the British Fashion Council saying I got it, and I was sat next to my granddad in the car, and I just screamed, and he said, "Stop screaming! You're gonna cause an accident." And I was like, "I got the award! Look!" Yeah,
Oh,
it was
so that's a
crazy.
lovely story, and you'll always remember where you got that news as well. That's brilliant.
Literally on the, I don't know, a motorway.
Oh, bless you. Oh, I bet your
Yeah, it's
family
great.
were really pleased for you as well.
Yeah, they're supportive, up until a point, but yeah.
Well, final question for you. What is the dream? What are you doing once you leave us?
So I've got a few bits and pieces in the works. I'm organizing a small talk. I've got something coming out with the Travelers Times. I've had something with them before, but something else is coming up now. There's loads of opportunities that's arisen for promotion, but I've also got a few interviews with a few jobs lined up, which is going to be very fun. But I think the end goal, my 10-year goal, if I had to say, my own studio. I've kind of got it in my sights now, where I'm like, I've got a big message and I'd like to spread it, a positive message. And I feel like if I focus on my own craft and my own studio practice, it could be something. You don't know.
Well, we have everything crossed for you, and we believe in you as well. Like I said, I've been to see your work on the Link Bridge, and anybody watching this as well can go and see Jason's work on the Link Bridge. Do you know how long it's there till?
It's there until the end of the month, from
Until
what
the
I
end
know
of
so
the
far.
month. I'd urge you to go and look at it because it is absolutely amazing. And again, thank you, Jason, for spending this time talking to me. We're really pleased to talk to you. And again, I know it's 3 years you've been with us, but we're just so grateful that you're here, that you bring your talent to BNU. And I just can't wait to write stories about famous fashion designer Jason Doe in the future and how it all started here with us.
We'll see what happens in the future, but yeah, definitely. Like it's
Yeah.
been great being at BNU, to be honest.
Brilliant, and just so much more to come for you. So thank you again, and see you soon.
Perfect. Thank you.